Listen, if you want to book qualified demos with business owners interested in what you have to offer based on real world outreach, scripts, campaigns, and flows, you're in the right place. What's up, everybody? Jeff Hirsch here. We're getting started just at the top of the hour. If you're new to the channel or if you're new to me, welcome. We're actually live streaming this on YouTube as well as doing the StreamYard interaction. So there's some people commenting, hi back and forth on StreamYard or on YouTube or on my Jeff Hershey channel. And I'm super excited today to fill you in on what's been happening and the success that we've seen inside of our agency and our business for the last several months, and really what's happened in the last several weeks in our business as we started to gain traction and get things up and running. So do me a favor, just say hi or say what's up in the chat for StreamYard, or comment on YouTube. I think there's a live option that if you comment, or sorry, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it'll let you comment in real time here as we get going. Hey, what's up? I think it's Joseph. Joseph, you might be on two different accounts. I see your avatar from there. Craig, what's going on? He's on StreamYard as we get in. And let me just make sure that we can see this, pop up these on the stage as we get going. Cool. I haven't used StreamYard in a while, so we're gonna get back to this. Gary, what's up? Can't wait to get rocking. Me too, as we get going. So here's what I want to do real quick. If this is your first time here and you haven't ever seen me before, I'm going to give you, actually, let me take out the comments real quick. I'm going to give you a link if you want to know and you want to have the ability to see over the shoulder what we're doing to build an AI agency, an AI focused agency. Now, we'll talk about how we're selling and all that stuff as we get into the call. But if you want to learn a little bit more, you want to see, like, is this dude for real? Are they doing what they promise they're doing? I can tell you, everybody that's on this call right now that's live from the group will show you that, yeah, they're doing it and I'm doing it as well. And I'm showing what we're doing over the shoulder. I'm going to show you guys what we did in the last 30 days later on in the call, revenue wise, inside the agency from there. But if you want to get access to everything, go to agencystarterkit.com. That's a school group. You're welcome to join it. It's free to join. And you're going to see that there's content, there's playbooks for everything that we're doing and sharing inside of that group and inside of that community. And I teach over the shoulder. So we're not creating stuff just to sell things to you. As you'll see today, what we do is we actually go out there, we use it, we prove it, we test it, we build it, we break it, we fix it. And then once it's stable, we bring it to you. And today's gonna be a really cool one because it's something that we're gonna talk about. What I've been doing for the last several weeks as we get in and get going. And it really is how to create conversations that close, right? So if you want to learn how to put conversations together, hey, Henrietta, what's going on? If you want to put conversations together that actually are closing deals, put close in the chat for me or comment close on YouTube and go to that school group and join it and get in. Because if you guys want to be closers, if you want to learn how to close deals, this video, this training is for you. I'm going to give you our exact pivot framework on how our AI agency turns cold outreach, ice cold outreach into clients, right? So we got Dave, we got Troy, local, I think it was Joseph, have put close in the chat. Catherine has as well. And there's a little bit of delay here for me with the comments and things like that. So Bruno, what's going on? Chris, Catherine. So we'll ask you guys a couple times during the presentation as we go through. Kip, what's going on? A lot of folks from our community are watching this right now, live or on YouTube, or are in that StreamYard chat as we get going. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to put myself a little bit smaller on here, and then we're going to dive into the conversion, the conversation that closes by converting leads. Okay. This is my pivot framework. This is exactly how we're using this inside of our agency. I only have about an hour or so to go through this and teach you guys this as we get in. I will tell you, this has spent tens of hours going through. I can't say we spent 100 hours on this because we haven't yet, but we spent tens of hours training brand new team members, bringing them on board and going through on how they can create conversations that lead to qualified demos that then turn into a sale. Okay. Um, it doesn't matter what your product or service is today. If you're wondering, like, Jeff, do I have to have your stuff, or I've got this, or I've got that? This framework works for anything. My pivot framework, you can sell ice to an Eskimo if you want, but you've got to follow the framework from there. And yes, Keith, there will be a replay and it's live on YouTube, and it will instantly go to the replay as soon as we're done here. So subscribe to the channel. I think get notifications on the video, things like that, and you'll be good to go. All right. So it doesn't matter what you're selling. We'll get into this as we go. Okay. If you're brand new and you've never sold anything before, maybe you're looking at this as a side hustle, or maybe you don't like your 9 to 5 or you're doing, no matter what you do, you have to learn how to sell. Okay. If you are a marketing agency, unless you magically have your best friend or somebody else that's working for you for sales, you've got to learn this to be successful. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You do not, however, need to be skilled at sales. You do not need to be the number one closer in your family or group or at the company or whatever it is. But when you're working for yourself, you have to take ownership of this process. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what I taught our team over the last several weeks. And that's exactly why I disappeared. Now, for some of you, it's summer. We had the 4th of July last week, right? We're just a couple days past that now here. By the time of me doing this live, actually, I could probably just turn, I'm going to remove me off the screen there. Okay. But I disappeared, okay, for almost 3 weeks. So we were doing our regular YouTube content. I had a couple promotions here and there and things like that. But I wasn't really posting in the school group. I wasn't creating videos on YouTube, and it was actually intentional. Okay. I didn't mean to like not share some with you guys, but it wasn't ready. It wasn't set up. So here's what we were doing for the last couple weeks. We were hiring the first week, right? We literally were interviewing and going through the process of bringing new team members on board. Now, for you, you eventually will get there, but I want to let you know why I was gone. Okay. This is not about hiring, but this is how we got here today. Week 2 is important to you because once we brought the team on board, we started training them. Okay. I spent about 5-6 hours on Zoom the first day, going through company, mission, core values, who we are, what the product is, teaching them everything about that. That was the first day. The second day, we did some training in the morning on our CRM, how we're onboarding them, things like that. And then I drove the hour and a half to where our team is actually going to be located, and I met them in person, full time. Okay. The full-time employees, I met them in person. I spent the afternoon with them. So hence, I'm not in front of a computer. Can't really be doing things with it, with recording stuff for you guys. From there, gave them a day to test a couple things out on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I went back down halfway in the day and really solidified who we are, what we're doing, made adjustments, and we're continuing to make adjustments this week as we're testing and changing. So I wasn't doing YouTube, very little social. Matter of fact, I actually deactivated my Instagram for a little while right now just because I've been too busy and I don't want that distraction. My team Instagram is live, and there wasn't really too many live trainings. Okay. It wasn't because things slowed down or I went on vacation or taking a break. We were rebuilding the entire process around new team members. In the last 12 months, I've hired somewhere between half a dozen, a dozen new team members inside of our company from there. Okay. What we've learned over the last 6 months to a year, and what really boiled down the last month inside of our agency, was to answer this question. Does our agency, does my software companies, do they win because of me, because of Jeff Hershey being there, or because of the system? Right now, normally the founder, people, you guys, if you ever did an agency demo with me, right, you got to meet the founder. You got me. I built the relationships. I have instinct. I've been doing this for 17 years, 18 years now. Like, that's hard to transfer. However, that's not scalable by any means, right? And the joke always was like, check at my calendar, look how busy I am. And it was like 3, 4, 5, 7 demos a day. Okay. That's not scalable. We were at maximum capacity. So we built an operating system. Okay. It's repeatable. It is proven to be trainable. It is scalable. It is independent of any single one person in my business. So that if I remove myself, we could make sure that the results remain the same. We actually got better. And we decided to actually test this and really put the iron to the fire and test it out. Okay. No one in our space is going to show you what they were doing and how they built it and then just teach it to you live on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to walk you through everything as we go through here today. Okay. Here was a test. And it's an expensive test, but it's a test. And you guys get to reap the benefits of that effort because you're part of our school group, because of your community as we go in. All right. We've brought on brand new team members. Like, we literally went through the interview process. I've interviewed, I don't know, 4 or 5 people in the last couple months that have actually made it past the entire process and were hired. Their goal, real conversations, real outreach, and real prospects, real business owners in a SMB niche that we're going after right now. They didn't get any shortcuts to, like, fluff this presentation or anything. I'm literally just going to share you the raw information of what we're doing. Okay. 0 warm leads were handed to them, completely cold. They got no special treatment. Okay. Same cold outreach that everybody else faces. The only thing that everybody got and received was the framework. That framework is what I like to call the pivot system. They got nothing else. They got the tools to make sure that they were doing the outreach, CRM so we can manage them, which each and every one of you guys should have access to a CRM in some way, shape, or form, even if it's just your Gmail and a notepad. I don't care, to get started. Okay. This is all they received. Now, did it work? Yes. This is a complete outlier. However, in the first 30 minutes of them doing cold outreach, one of our team members booked a meeting, starting her outreach. Okay. Several others booked within days. Again, no warm leads, no shortcuts, just the framework. Now, I'm not telling you guys 30 minutes after this training with Pivot, you're going to go out there and be able to get somebody. But yeah, it was a wow, right? Okay. Now, they're not booking one call every 30 minutes, but it was kind of like a quick validation for us from there. Okay. And I will tell you, do not expect this. All right. I don't expect this from every day. Matter of fact, I'll put myself back on screen here for a second. My expectation to them when we talked was, hey, look, we're going to do 30, 60 days. We got to give it time. Okay. We're going to have hiccups. Things are going to break. Things are going to go wrong. I expect you to fumble, fail, adjust, tweak, which you guys will see here in a little bit, the artistic freedom that each and every one of them has to make it their own. But we did get some results relatively quickly from there. Okay. We're not seeing that every single day, right? In every single call, but that's some of the things that we're seeing and doing right now. Now, I want you to know one thing. This was not about the person. I didn't have some superstar doing all of this for me. And we have Matthew has some audio issues too. Matthew, I'll have you catch this on the replay. Real quick, give me a 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, if you guys have good audio. Okay. This is recorded, so hopefully the audio is recording on my computer too, and then we'll jump right into it. Okay. All right. So this wasn't the person. It was the conversation. Okay, I got a lot of 5s. How it's working is all about the pivot framework. Okay. We wanted to start great conversations. Those create great opportunities, not the other way around. Here's one thing that a lot of folks teach in our industry. A lot of folks teach when you get going, follow the script, follow the script. And look, when I'm hiring outbound dialers, I'm hiring folks to do cold outreach on LinkedIn or email. Okay. Everybody's like, oh, the script. Look, script's great. But there's a point where you throw that script out the window and you become a human. Okay. Because you want to have a conversation. A lot of fives coming in. Cool. StreamYard looks like it's good. Great. So it might be a connection issue on those two folks' side. Great. Cool. Thank you guys. Here's what most agencies believe and what they focus on. Okay. A lot of you get stuck at the offer phase. Spend months tweaking. Oh, what's my pricing? What's my packaging? Look, we went out the door. We didn't even have a buy link. We knew what the package was. My account executive knows what that package price is. The dialer, the outbound reach, the emailer, the cold LinkedIn DMer has no idea. Okay. So we spent a little bit of time creating the offer, and me and my exec team and my account executive knows. Okay. The funnel, I will tell you right now, I built what I thought was the absolute perfect funnel for this. And guess what? I was wrong. Because when you start having conversations, you learn real quick what they actually want because you're having a human conversation from there. Guess what we did in the first 48 hours? We adjusted the funnel 2 or 3 different times. Okay. We removed things from the process based on live feedback. We changed the flow from there. Okay. And then the tech, chasing the latest AI tools and everything like that. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, we use High Level as our CRM. It's simple. We actually removed and stripped out everything for our dialers. They have an opportunity board. They have a dialer. They have email. They have text message. And then we actually have LinkedIn outreach and DMs as well. Now, the tech we already had. I have a person dedicated to that on my team. We figured it out as we went. Okay. I did some of it in person with them. Sloppy, but progress. Okay. And you guys know I'm very organized. I have like 6 or 4 emails in my inbox. Everything runs off my calendar. I went into this knowing we were going into the kitchen and it was going to be a mess. We had a plan, but we also knew the game plan had to change. So what drives momentum? Okay. You can have the best offer in your market, but if you're not talking to anybody, you're going to lose. If the conversation that surrounds your offer is broken, you're never going to move forward. Okay. You need to be a human. You need to be a person. You need to have that business owner understand that the person that they're talking to, that they're emailing back, that they're DMing back is a real human being that actually cares about their business. Okay. That's the secret to everything. Okay. That's how I keep staff members for 4 or 5 years. They don't even look at other opportunities. That's how I gain trust quickly with folks that come on board because I have a conversation with them. It's also how we talk to leads. Okay. Have a little empathy in your conversation. Create trust, create movement in your business, and then get the clients from there. Okay. We've got Crystal. She agrees from there as we get in. Okay. Now, for the last several weeks, if not months, you've heard me talk about AI. It is not in the same way that you have everybody talking about it's AI summer and bots and voice and chats and all this other stuff. Okay. Everybody is selling AI in some way, shape, or form. Okay. What nobody or almost nobody out there knows is how to talk about it, how to talk about Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. My big one, AI visibility, AI automations, SEO, AI SEO. Okay. Every agency that I see, that I get a cold email from, that I see pitching, is saying the same thing. Okay. I will tell you, business owners are interested in AI. And if you watch my YouTube channel and you see all the videos we put out and the ones we're going to put out in July, which are already pre-recorded and we're just editing, okay, it's going to tell you that business owners care about outcomes. They don't care about what you're doing to get that outcome. Okay. When you sound like everybody else, the conversation when you reach out to them is really the only differentiator that you have left. Okay. People want to talk who they know, like, and trust. You need to gain that very, very quickly from a cold prospect. Give me a yes in the comments, in the chat, if you agree with that with me. Because I wholeheartedly believe business owners and folks do not buy AI. They need confidence, which gives them certainty that this is going to work for me. Look at all the yeses, right? All the yeses coming in from here, which is great. Thank you, guys. They want clarity, okay? Most of you, if not including me, okay, most of us, I need to throw this in here because I've just kind of sorted this out in the last couple months. Clear picture of what they're doing, where they're going. They need to understand the outcome. Where am I going to wind up? What is my finish line? When they gain trust from you, they need belief in the person that's guiding them. And then they want to basically not have any of the downside. They want to get as much of the upside as they can to reduce the risk and the fear. Okay. The opportunity, the technology can help you start that conversation. Trust is what closes the deal. Nobody wakes up going, I need more AI in my business. Okay. Here's what they want. They want more customers. They want less stress. They want less time working in their business, and they want better results than what they've got right now as we go in. The buying journey has been rewritten. Okay. This is for the customers looking for that small business. The old path was a Google search. They get a bunch of blue hyperlinks. Okay. They visit the website that they want. They go through a lead form, and eventually you make a sale. Okay. The new path that we're using and we're talking about to our clients. Okay. Somebody's going in, they're asking AI. Even Google is providing AI recommended results in their searches, right? The question is asked, the AI recommends, and then the conversation begins. The trust is built between AI and the business to be able to recommend. That trust boils down into them searching and learning a little about that business, and that business gets a client. Okay. AI gives recommendations. At the end of the day, there's still a human element. That person has to make the final decision of are they going to work with this business or not. Okay. This also helps you because if you can have conversations with these business owners and educate them on this process using the pivot framework, this matters more than ever before. Okay. Now, for most of you, outreach dies before it ever has a chance. You're getting deleted, you're getting ignored, you're getting hung up on, you're getting archived, maybe you're never opened. Okay. You can have the best follow-up sequence in the world. It probably isn't your pricing. Okay. The conversation never even begins because you are starting in the wrong path. And I can tell you right now, it is the only thing that we found that's worth fixing. And it's made a huge benefit to our business as we've come in because everybody sounds the same. Go look at people's LinkedIn profiles. I help this business get this outcome, right? You've been told to put that on your bios, all that stuff. Okay. We increase leads. We use AI too. Okay. I'll tell you right now, somebody just said that's my issue right now, right? The business owner already knows what you're going to do. They already know your next sentence, your reply, whatever it is. They've heard it all before and they've tuned it out. Okay. You need to sell you, not the product. You need to sell you and the outcome from there. How do you do that? Stop pitching. Okay. You're not here to pitch your offer, your product, your sell, whatever it is that you got. Start pivoting. Okay. Mike just said, I want to avoid leading with AI. Instead, I want to lead with business outcome. Just need to know the best way to do this. Mike, I'm going to show you that today. Okay. And then actually, I'm going to make you an offer at the end of this to literally get everything inside of but you're going to get an exact access copy to what we're using right now. Okay. Your goal is not to convince anybody. Your only goal with your initial outreach is to continue the conversation. When you change the outcome for yourself, everything changes right here. Because when your goal is just to have the conversation, yes, you're not going to have a one call close every time. You might have 4 conversations. You might need 3 to have a meeting. You might need 7 follow-ups to get the deal, right? But when you're having a conversation, that opens the opportunity for you to pivot, okay? Here's my pivot framework. Pause the video, take a screenshot, whatever it is. I'm going to walk you through each of these. I spent 5 or 6 hours teaching just this alone. What is today? Today's Thursday. 9 days ago. No, 10 days ago, last Monday, okay? This is our conversation operating system. This is a repeatable architecture for every single stage of the customer journey, okay? This is not a script. This is the way of thinking. This is going to be laminated and put up next to every single person that's at the office as they go through. They're going to understand exactly what this is, and I should be able to walk in and say, what's the framework? Explain to me how pivot works, and they're going to walk you through that, okay? Now, before we learn the framework, I want you to understand this one rule, okay? Every single great conversation that we have follows the same path in my company. Simple, repeatable, scalable. Think about it, okay? What's the first thing you need to do? You need to get their attention, okay? After you get their attention, you need their permission. Okay. Not a cheesy way of like, yes, say yes or yes, right? Raise your hand. No, you need to get permission that you're going to move this conversation forward, that they're interested. That leads to curiosity. You dig in, you ask some questions about them, their business, their outcome desires. That builds your trust. It allows you to provide clarity. And you can do this in every DM, every cold email, every discovery call, created with every proposal, right? If you've gotten our first answer framework, if you've gotten my AI scorecard, if you've purchased any product, Loud AF from me, okay, you need to master this ladder, okay? If you master this ladder, you will never wonder what to say next, because I know, I don't care if you're 25, 35, 45, 75. Okay. It doesn't matter, because you can have conversations with folks with this framework, and it's about their outcome, not who you are. Okay. And I've got folks of the entire range inside of our company doing this right now. The P inside the pivot framework stands for permission. Okay. The first sale for you in your outreach, or for your team, if you decide to bring on a team or have, I know a couple of people have DM'd me and said, hey, can I put my sales guy on this? Right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Because the first sale is not the sale. It is the permission for you to continue the conversation. Okay. Put a P in the chat or inside of YouTube in the comments if you understand this concept. Or you write permission, but P is good enough. Okay. Your only goal when you start having a conversation, whether it be calling, DMing, emailing, okay, is to earn the next 20 to 30 seconds from there. I want you guys to fully understand this, okay? The P in permission is to earn the ability to continue the conversation, okay? We're not trying to get the appointment. We're not trying to book the demo right there. We're not trying to get the sale the moment we start talking to somebody. Your only goal is to keep talking. Do I have permission for me to keep talking to you? Whether it be a reply, whether it be a text message, whether it be we're on the phone talking, or can I call you, right? The biggest mistake that we see is people are immediately pitching, explaining, and they're trying to educate, okay? Nobody owes you their attention. You have to earn it, okay? Somebody just said this is what Eric Lofton, I don't know who he is, calls a sales ladder. Yeah, your only goal at each step is to get the next step. Yes, absolutely. Look, sales has been around for longer than I have, right? Longer than, we're talking decades, okay? Especially the way that we all do it now. It's been refined, okay? There's a science and an art to it, okay? If you think every step of the process is I have to earn the permission to move to the next step, then that's what you're going to do as you go through from there. Here's what permission sounds like. Curiosity beats confident, okay? Start conversations, not presentations, right? A little confused. Can I ask you something? Hey, I noticed something about your business. Hey, do you have a quick 20 seconds for me to let you know about something we found? Okay. None of these sell anything. They're invitations. People love answering questions because it's about them. They hate being pitched because it's being broadcast to them. Here's a real example. Okay. These are some of the initial cold email openings that we've used. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to see later on the exact ones that we're using today. Like literally, I just had my team put the most recent one in the folder that you're going to have access to at the end of this if you want. So you have the most recent ones. Okay. Subject, business name plus ChatGPT. This is for a cold email. Hey, John, can you help me? A little confused. I'm looking at your business in ChatGPT and I keep seeing your competitors. Is being recommended by AI not something you're focused on right now? Okay. Why it works. No pitch, no credentials, not about you. It's not about fluff. It's just curiosity. It's all about them. And that curiosity creates replies. Okay. You can edit this with, can you help me? I'm confused, right? It always ends with a question to help keep the conversation alive. That moves into the I. Interest, curiosity before credibility. I don't care if you have an agency website. You don't need one to get started. Okay. People do not care who you are until they care about what you found. They don't care about your credentials. They don't care how long you've been doing this. They want to know what the outcome is that you are offering them for their business. And that interest to move forward to earn the next step comes from the observation that you've made, not explaining everything. Most agencies start talking about themselves, the product, what they can do. No one cares how the sausage is made. They just like the fact that it tastes good. Okay. This pivot approach makes everything about them. Some interest examples. Okay. Lead with what you've discovered. Observations create conversations. Everything that we're going to talk about and have talked about so far has been about one thing: continuing the conversation so you earn trust. Hey, I'm seeing, I noticed, we found. Would it surprise you if, or can I show you something? Okay. We sell AI visibility. That is my angle. Okay. You can sell whatever you want, but it's going to be around ours. AI visibility works right now, first of all, because it's super hot, because business owners genuinely do not know what AI is saying about them. And they're not even sure how to actually go about it. So the knowledge gap creates that immediate and authentic curiosity from there. This allows you to create the digital mirror moment. Okay. Show them what AI sees. I will tell you this: most owners have never looked. About 7 months ago, I was a speaker at an event, and the person that went on just prior to me, or two people prior to me, literally said, "Hey, do a Google search, do a chat search, go to Gemini, open up ChatGPT, Google AI mode, type in who's the best X in your town. Do you come up?" Right? Without putting your name in there. Okay. Figure out the AI will process it, who AI is recommending, and help them create that reality. If you're part of any of our products or services, you have those tools. Okay. Here's one thing I want to be very, very clear on when you're talking about the digital mirror moment. We are not using fear tactics or fear marketing. Okay. We're making them aware. You're enlightening them to really what's happening in the space and the transition of search that's happening right now. You're simply showing them what already exists. And for most business owners, it's the first time anybody has actually taken the moment instead of pitching them and just showed them and helped make it clear for them. Put a yes in the chat if that makes sense to you. That a digital mirror moment can help you continue the conversation because you've made them aware of the gap. Got a Y from Amelia? Yes, yes, it does. Cool. I want to make sure that we are all on the same page here, right? Yes, 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 yep. Cool. Thanks, Bruno. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go in. More yeses coming in, but we're going to continue. Okay. The V in the pivot framework is to validate. Do not pitch, you ask. Validation creates that trust. This is where I would say the majority of newer agencies, newer AI marketers that we talk to that are trying to sell their services miss. They start pitching. You don't have trust yet. You don't have the right permission yet. You need to gain their trust to create that movement. Okay. This is where everybody starts pitching. And the moment where the best salespeople ask the next question instead. All right. These validation questions are the ones that will help you open those doors. Because by asking these specific questions, variations similar to these based on your products and services, allow you as the agency, as a consultant, to gain understanding. Let them explain their world to you through their own personal lens as they see it. Okay? Ask the questions. Hey, how are most customers finding you today? Or how are you generating customers for your business? Have you ever searched your business inside of Chat GPT? What's working really well? Or what's frustrating you guys right now? How important is local visibility or AI visibility this year for you? Okay. Why are we asking these questions? Because people believe what they say far more than what you tell them. You're not convincing them. They're telling you the problems as they see them. And questions are the most powerful sales tools that each and every one of you have. It costs you nothing to ask these questions. It gains you everything. The biggest mistake is new agencies start selling. You get nervous. And as a matter of fact, a quick story here. I was on a sales call, a pitch call for a contractor of ours that was basically they lost $12,000 a month between multiple clients because they started pitching before they fully understood. And we were telling them what we expected, And when we got on the call, got on the Zoom to go through and look at the proposal, all they did was start selling before understanding the needs. And they did not diagnose before they made the prescription. They literally lost a 5-figure a month revenue source. Now they're getting about 1,000 per location right now instead of several because they made this huge mistake. And I do not want you to make it as well. Do not start pitching until it's the right time. And you'll know when it's the right time because you're going to go through the pivot framework. Okay. When you go to the doctor, they do not just write you a prescription before asking questions. Neither should you. The wrong order is show up, you give them a pitch, and then ask questions, and then you're probably going to get rejected. Okay. This happened. We denied continuing on a new 6-month contract with an agency that was outside of our business, and we use them for other clients as well because they did not diagnose. They just started pitching. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? We gave them 2 or 3 opportunities. They lost the deal. And then they asked, well, Jeff, why did we lose it? I'm like, well, here's why. I was rooting for you, but you missed out. You put it in the wrong order. Here's the right order. You should have been asking questions. What was important to the customer? What was important to the client? Gain the understanding. Gain their trust that you can do, or the opportunity for you to close the gap is there, where they trust you for the outcome, and then you offer a solution. And Craig put it, heart meds for bellyache. Yes. Oh, sure. Here, everybody's getting the same thing, right? No, that is the biggest mistake for most agencies. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not above making this mistake. How do I know? Because I've learned by doing it and losing clients. And now with the experience, I've seen it and I can catch it, right? Because when you move through the pivot framework, you need to go through in order to help them see the opportunity that's laid out in front of them, reveal that gap. Do not sell them the solution. Somebody said, same here. Look, we have all made the mistake. If you're new, I'm trying to help you accelerate this process. And by the way, me training people that I'm paying out of my own, well, out of the company, but out of my own pocket, right, to work for me, I need to teach them a framework that's going to give them the highest chance of success because they have bonuses and other things that are involved in this. So we teach them, do not sell the solution. Reveal and show the opportunity. Because here's what people buy. They buy the possibilities of what could happen. And when they trust you that you can probably close that gap, that's when you close the deal. They do not buy software. They do not buy tools. Okay. You are not selling a product. You're helping them see the bridge that already exists between where they are and where they want to be. Here's some of the language that we use. Okay. And you will see this if you grab this program at the end. At the end of every single document that we're training, the last thing that they see is consult. Don't convince. Your job is not to convince somebody that they need you. Okay. Your job is to invite them, to consult them, not to push. Here's some examples that our team uses every single day. Would it help? I'd be happy to show you. We actually put something together, right? The AI visibility report, the scorecard. Hey, we found 3 things. Would you like me to send this over to you? This feels collaborative, not salesy. Okay. We're positioning ourselves as a growth partner, helping them see what's possible, not just another vendor pushing another product. Okay. People buy products from somebody they trust, right? You're not pushing the product. They're going to ask you at the end of this, well, how do we make this work? And that's where the T in transition comes from. every conversation needs a next step. Creating momentum beats pressure sales every time. Consult, don't convince. You're going to see that at the end of every document. Okay. Reports, audits, demos, proposals, meetings. Okay. The transition isn't into, hey, we're going to get you on and we're going to close you. Here's what I like to do. Cool. We've gotten to this point. Looks like you guys are clearly interested. What would be the next logical step for you? Right. Normally, they're like, well, like, why don't you give us a report? Or I'd be interested in learning more. Okay. Have them make the decision. What are we doing? We're having a conversation. That's it. Okay. No pressure, just a natural progression that helps move them forward. Okay. One of our favorite transitions is the audit, because curiosity deserves an answer. It's like an open loop. You want to close it. If you'd like, we could put you together a one-page visibility scorecard, visibility report, comparing you against your competitors. There's no obligation, no pressure, just something useful that you can take away. We're not asking for money. We're offering them clarity. And if somebody's like, if you guys are like, well, hey, I'd like to charge for this, sure, go ahead. You can do that as a paid consultation, right? We don't, because we have quality conversations. So we are only moving somebody down that path, up the ladder, if you will, because we know that they are a highly qualified person that we want to talk to. We're not talking to everybody trying to convince them. We're only talking to the folks that we want to talk to. And that shift in framing changes exactly every important step of how it's received. Okay. We do a quick little AI scorecard benchmarked against their local competitors. We brief them. My account executive now handles this. The outreach team. Now you guys can do both, right? But at our scale, we have one person that does outreach, or actually several people that do the outreach, and then that hands it to the person that does the briefing for them. Every meeting that we do is based on delivering value before we even ask for anything, because that meeting is going to show them the gap and help them close it. Okay. Pressure sales creates buyer's remorse. Yes, Craig, absolutely. From there. Okay. So the complete system is our pivot framework. Every conversation follows that same architecture. Permission earns the right for you to continue. Interest, lead with what you observed. Validate, ask them questions before you tell them anything. Open the opportunity, reveal the gap, not the product, and define the next natural step for them. Do me a favor. If that makes sense to you, if you're on YouTube, put it in the comments. If you're in StreamYard, put it in the comments of the chat from here. Put pivot in the chat for me if this makes sense and each and every one of you can follow it. Because I want to make sure that we understand where we're at right now as a group before we move forward, that you are ready to pivot and use this inside of your business from there. All right. So we've got a lot of folks that are typing in pivot on StreamYard right now, and I'm assuming YouTube as well. And that'll come in here in just a little bit on the delay. Pivot. Raw. Yeah. Okay. So somebody finally caught on. Dan said Ross from Friends. My wife has that t-shirt. I told her about it. She laughed. So yeah, I didn't want to put it in the meme, but yes, same thing from there. Okay. Pivot. Okay. This is not outreach. Okay. It's conversation architecture. Here's how I do it. And it has worked out very, very well for us. Okay. This is conversation architecture. When you have scripts, here's what it does. It creates dependence. Scripts break down in unexpected moments. They require constant updating and they don't really transfer to new hires. Okay. Mike just said, Jeff, I'm 70. I want to be your oldest client success story. Cool. I don't care if you're 20 or 70. Okay. I will tell you this, some of my team, early 20s. I have folks that are 60 plus on my team as well. It does not matter. It's about the person. Okay. Scripts breakdown, frameworks, architecture, create confidence. They will work in every situation and it's scalable to an entire team. And it will last forever once it's internalized. And I actually have the forever framework ready for you guys if you want it. Okay. I'm going to help you understand the architecture, the why behind every message, and you understand that. You're never going to have to memorize another script again. I think it's BS. When somebody's like, "Oh, just read the script." Okay. When I started bringing my new hires, they were so used to only having to say the words that were on the paper. They were elated when they got some artistic freedom because they had a framework to work with. And I've watched them thrive the last 2 weeks because of that. Somebody just wrote true principles. Yeah, it's right. So I disappeared for the last 3 weeks. Well, I didn't disappear. I just disappeared from posting on school. Honestly, I didn't have the time between my son being home for the summer, my wife at clinicals, and me going back and forth to train folks. Look, you guys, we're not going to see a deadbeat, tired person 10 o'clock at night recording videos for you. Okay. Why did I disappear? Because we put this into action. Okay. Theory is easy. You see folks selling you every single day, their latest, greatest. I put this in my agency. This is brand new. I've been selling. It's all lies. Okay. A lot of folks in our industry, snake oil salesmen, they're telling you stuff. They're creating stuff to sell you. They're not doing this. They're not meeting business owners. They're not calling. They're not DMing. I'm going to show you exactly what I spent several hours on a Saturday and a Sunday building for my team because we hired and got the training going so fast that I actually didn't have the pivot framework in a usable format. I was the linchpin. If I died, if a bus ran me over tomorrow, sales would stop. And that's what scared me. Plus, I wanted to spend some time with my family this summer. So we're going to break down some real outreach that we've been using inside our own agency. These are not templates. They're not hypotheticals. This is literally real training assets. Real conversations have been had. Actually, hundreds, if not thousands of conversations have been had in the last couple of weeks. And the psychology behind every word has been tested from there. Okay. Cold email breakdown. A lot of you like to use cold email. Okay. Get permission before the pitch. Let's dissect every sentence. Okay. Putting the business name in the subject line is key. Okay. Can you help me? I'm a little confused. I'm looking at your business inside of ChatGPT and I keep seeing your competitors. Is your business being recommended by AI? Not something you're focused on right now. Okay. Permission. Can you help me? Interest. I'm confused. Opportunity. Competitor mentions creates urgency without any of the hype from there. Facebook. Get a DM. You want quick little wins. Hey, quick question. I was looking up business niche in ChatGPT and your competitors keep showing up. Thought you'd want to know, right? The only goal is to get them to reply when it comes to DM. Each of these modes and methods and outreach areas and channels, if you will, operate differently. Okay. So when you go to DMs, only thing you're looking for is a question to proceed and to get the conversation going. That's it. After this point, every single conversation is going to take a slightly different path. You're not selling, you're creating curiosity. LinkedIn, one of my favorites right now. This is more professional. People buy from people. Okay. Notice something interesting while searching AI recommendations for businesses in your market. Can I ask you a quick question? Okay. It isn't email, it isn't Facebook. LinkedIn is one of the highest response rates that we're getting right now, besides cold calling. Okay. Getting curiosity, permission, and we're telling them that we're making an observation. Okay. The psychology, as you guys see, has not changed. We're still using the pivot framework in each and every one of these. Phone calls. We are making 300 live contacts per day right now. Their only goal is to get the next 20 seconds. Hey, do you have about 20 seconds? I noticed something while researching your business. We never ask, hey, is now a good time to talk, right? Instead, earn the next 20 seconds. I'm going to give you our exact scripts that they're using right. Actually, they go to lunch in 5 minutes, but they're using right now, like the calls that we are making right now. And I will tell you, cold calling is a hell of a lot easier than you've been told, because you're just picking up the phone and you're having a conversation with a business owner. I'm not going to be here to try to convince you that you need to be the one to make those calls, but I can tell you right now in my business, we are starting to scale because of this one channel, because everybody is afraid of it, and it is way easier than you actually would think. Okay. Do you guys notice a pattern here as we go through? No matter what I'm doing, and I haven't even talked about SMS or setting discovery calls or even doing a live presentation. Okay. No matter what your platform, all the conversations are similar. Okay. Put out number 1 in the chat. If you could follow one system and put it in any of these channels, a number 1 or type 1 or whatever it is. Okay. We're using one system, not 6 different ways to have conversations, because we're pivoting through that conversation. That's why my pivot framework is scalable and trainable and implementable to a brand new person off the streets or an established sales individual. Troy, we'll get to the stats here a little bit later. Actually, I think I share them inside the course. From there, our goal is to have 150 to 200 conversations on the dialer side per day. Okay. That will earn them probably 20 to 30 conversations, and they'll book 2 to 5 meetings per day with that. From those 2 to 5 meetings, 40% to 60% will show up. And then of those, about 1 to 3 closes a day from there. That's how it breaks down. Troy, I know the numbers. You're like, oh, we talked to 300 businesses. We reached out. We did cold email to 1,000 people. We did DMs to 20, 30 businesses. Your goal is to get this going and then worry about your data and numbers from there. But if you're able to close 1 or 2 at a middle to high package at $500,000, $1,500 a day, and you're doing a couple of those a day, you will see the scalability of this very, very quickly. And I'll be very transparent with that. Here's the conversation blueprint. I chain link everything together. Every single client follows the same journey, and it's linked into a sequence. Okay. Cold outreach, multiple channels. I got people they have their own dedicated channel. I've got a LinkedIn guy, got a DM guy. I've got cold callers. Okay. Their only goal for each and every one of them is get a reply and earn the next step in the conversation, discover what they're truly interested in, and get them to go through the AI visibility audit from there. This is where everybody complicates things. Even I did it weeks ago when we started. We're like, all right, cool. We're giving them the call. We're going to get their information. We're going to fill in the scorecard, do it right there. Nope. When we started doing this with live, we realized that we had to change the conversation, and we've adjusted our funnel from there. At the end of the day, with this entire blueprint, it is just having a conversation, and we've linked it all in a logical sequence. And it is not, as you guys see a chain link, it actually can move, right? It has flow to it. This is not concrete. You can adjust this based on whatever your offer is, whoever you're talking to, and whatever you need from there. Okay. That's really big thing. Here's my conversation ladder. Okay. Every step in the process updates and changes the psychology. Do not skip these steps. When you master the ladder, you're going to know exactly where every conversation stands and what needs to happen next. And if you lose a client, where it broke down. Just because they start talking to you doesn't mean they're going to move up the ladder. They might have, you might have their attention, permission, and curiosity, but maybe you don't get the point where you've earned their trust, right? Or you've earned their trust, but they're not clear on the offer, and then they don't take the action. If you take this, print it out, write it down, whatever it is, you can literally go back and audit your team or yourself on your outreach and see where that broke down on the ladder, one step after the next. Here's why most agencies fail. Okay. They jump straight to action. Okay. Troy, I'm going to show you how you get access to all of that here and how you can get past the decision makers. We talk about that inside of the training. Okay. They jump straight to the action without earning trust. They ask for meetings. They pitch the service before asking a single question. Explain the tech before you understand what they actually need. Never explain the tech and how it works, right? They wonder why it fails. Worry about the outcome and the permission to talk about the next step from there. When you fix the sequence, results will follow and it will compound. Having a better conversation leads to better clients, and that changes everything. When you have a better conversation, you get more replies. More replies equals more meetings, more proposals, leads you to the discovery phase of, yes, they want to be able to go through and actually have meetings that create offers that sell. Troy asked the question, I talked about that. And then this is, yes, this will be recorded for you as well, Alex. Okay. Everybody wants to double revenue. Okay. Start with one better conversation. The compounding effect of having better conversations will affect every single metric in your business and in your agency to be able to grow from there. So what changed? When I taught, literally, I taught this for 5 or 6 hours 10 days ago. We stopped teaching scripts, okay? We started teaching thinking. We used to see every script for every scenario, right? A new hire gets overwhelmed. They're trying to remove the script. Now you're doing performance reviews or reports on yourself if you're an agency or somebody else, and you're getting overwhelmed because the first objection that's not in the script, they don't know what to say. Okay. Every situation is unique. There's an artistry to it. When we created a framework that works for every situation, somebody that's starting brand new, whether it be a brand new agency, a new hire, you understand the why behind it. Any objection, any platform, any prospect, the pivot architecture still applies. Frameworks scale. Just having scripts does not. This changed exactly how we hire. As a matter of fact, it changed who we hire. So we had, one day we had 3 interviews. We had one guy that was stable, been doing this for a long time, and we thought he was good. He was probably like our A- type person. We had another guy that was decent, but just lacked the overall energy. I thought he's more like customer support side than he was like outreach and business development rep, BDR type stuff for us. And then we had our wild card where she actually she almost didn't make the second step of the interview, but she refused to take no for an answer and was one of those things where like, well, do we hire or how's it going to work for us? And she wound up being an ace for us because how we hire, how we train, and how we coached changed everything, because when she follows the framework, she can blow through any objection with any prospect and really connects with every single person that she's talking to, whether it be on DM, text message, email, or call from there. Why? Because they have confidence. That confidence leads to clarity. Okay. It does not come from rote memorization. Okay. It comes from knowing exactly what to say in any situation on any platform with any prospect. Okay. Mike said, for me personally, it's the trust and clarity I want to sharpen and learn better. Great. Mike, I'm going to show you and give you an opportunity here. This, if anybody that's in the first answer formula, like Harry and Alex, this is something separate, but you'll have access to this and it will apply perfectly if you have the first answer formula from there. Okay. If you know what to say next in any situation to any prospect, that's what the pivot framework helped give our team, not scripts, confidence. And each of them has their own personal fingerprint, and they are gaining confidence from that. And we're seeing and reaping the rewards. Okay. People do not reject your offer. I want you guys to think about this for a second. Okay. Give me a yes if you agree and a no if you don't. Okay. I'm actually going to put this up. Okay. On the chat. Give me a yes or a no. Okay. I believe people don't reject your offer. I believe that they reject continuing the conversation with you. Give me a yes or a no if you agree with me. Because when you fix the conversation, everything changes from there, right? Do you guys agree with that? Give me a yes or give me a no. Okay. And I know it's a little bit of delay here. We got a couple of yeses and yeps coming in. From there. Great. Cool. So today you guys learned, now you guys got all the yeses coming in, right? Great. Here we go. There's a little bit of a delay. Okay, actually, we'll just leave that up. Okay. Today you guys learned the conversation operating system. Okay. Why outreach fails for a lot of new agencies, new marketers. Okay. It dies before it ever began. AI shift, how buying journeys have been rewritten specifically for what's happening right now. Okay. The pivot framework, the full conversation architecture. You guys can go back and watch this and implement what I gave you right now today. You can go implement. Okay. This 1 hour and a couple minute little masterclass of how we do the pivot framework is right there, right in front of you. Okay. I gave you some real examples. Those are not things we threw into chat and said, hey, give me something to put on a slide. These are real examples. And as you saw, whether it be email, DM, LinkedIn, or phone, it was all the same psychology. And the latter is the blueprint that every client follows down the path. If all you do is change how you open conversations, I can tell you this, you will get results. Take what I've trained you with today and what I've shared with you, right? Everybody hates being sold. Nobody hates a useful conversation. That's perfect, Harry. Okay. But I have one more question for each and every one of you today. Okay. Knowing the framework is one thing. And I had about an hour and I'm a little over right now because I probably gave you guys a little bit too much history on the front end of this. Implementing it is another. How do you actually build this inside your business? How do you train your team? Whether it be, even if it's just you right now, how do I personally train my team? How do you create repeatable conversations that book meetings every single week? Craig says, pay attention to their demeanor towards you and how they look at you before you speak. Yes. Be a human. Have a conversation, not a robot. Nobody wants to talk to AI. They want to talk to a person. No one wants to talk to a robot that's reading a script, right? That's exactly what I built. And I'd love to show you guys and share it with you. I spent basically an entire weekend, days and nights when my family was not around or doing stuff at like sports. And I created this and trained half a dozen folks on this. Yeah. And your tone of voice does matter, Crystal. Absolutely. So you guys have two choices. Okay. I've given you my pivot framework. It's laid out in this training. Use it, implement it, use the ladder. If you're brand new, financially strapped, go use this, test it, refine it, and document your own conversation system. You can learn through trial and error, take 12 months to get it right, or you guys can take the shortcut. Okay. You can use the exact operating system that we've already built, tested, and are updating inside our own agency, and you can start implementing it this week. Okay. You've already seen the framework work. The only question really is how quickly do you want to implement it inside of your business? Okay. So imagine if every cold email that you sent started real conversations instead of just being ignored or deleted. Every LinkedIn message earned genuine replies from people that want to talk to you, not silence. Every phone call built trust to earn the next 20 seconds in that first 20. Every proposal felt like a natural step in the conversation, not just, oh my gosh, I'm jumping on Zoom, I got to pitch them, right? One conversation operating system, every single channel, every team member, repeatable, scalable, trainable, every single time. What if your entire team sold the exact same way because they had the vision, they understood where you were going, right? BDRs, business development reps, those are your outbounds. If you're brand new in agency, this is you. You're going to do all of this, right? But when you start growing and you bring on folks, every single person has the same opener, the same permission framework. This will get you your first client if you don't have any clients, okay? You'll move from outreach with BDRs to account execs. Same discovery, same exact validation approach, right? We talked about step one here today. That's really the big one that I covered in the pivot, but this is implementable across my entire team. You'll also get access today to what we do for our account execs and then customer success. Same language, same trust architecture, one framework, one language, one process, because there's continuity across every step of the flow. Okay. One framework, one language, one process, infinite conversations that you can scale. Now, each business owner will have a slightly different conversation with you because each one is a little bit different. Okay. We start on the East Coast in the morning and we wind up on the West Coast in the afternoon. We start at 7 a.m. every day, Pacific time. Okay. We can scale this anywhere, whenever we need to. I can bring on and plug and play another person and get them up to speed within, I want to say 72 hours, but let's just say a week. Okay. From there. So I want to introduce you guys to the conversation that closes with my complete pivot operating system. This is a complete implementation program. I'm going to hand you exactly how we right now, today, are using the pivot framework inside our own agency, step by step, channel by channel, conversation by conversation, no stone left unturned. This is exactly what I teach my own folks. Everything that you need will be included. The complete pivot framework, full conversation architecture, documented and ready to train or learn if you are the first person in your business. I believe that you need to be able to understand this to show somebody else and put them through this framework. Okay. We're building a complete operating system here. Multi-channel systems, how it works on cold email, LinkedIn, Facebook, and phone, all already built out. Discovery and proposal, AI visibility conversations. That's what we're doing. You can do whatever offer you want, but that's what we are using. Discovery framework and the proposal transition. Okay. Real outreach and swipe libraries, actual messages from our agency, to businesses. These are not templates. These are real conversations. Crystal just asked, great question. And there's a couple other I got to get to eventually. There will be a recording. Okay. This can be accomplished entirely on the phone. Yes. Harry, and then we move them to a Zoom demo from there. That's part of our swipe library. We show you how to move the entire process. And Crystal asked a great question. If you call and ask for the next 20 seconds, the business owner says, I don't have 20 seconds. What do you say? It's in my swipe library. We actually have multiple outcomes, and depending on the tone and how the conversation is, how we move forward from there. Plus, this is a living, breathing operating system. This is not a, hey guys, I'm going to give you a data dump and walk away and then hope you forget about it next week. You're going to have viewer access that you can copy and make your own and edit and personalize it to yourself. But you're going to have viewer access to my own internal operating system inside of our Google Drive. So you will have access to see and copy and then edit for yourself, or to watch as we make updates. And there's version control in there. So you will know what we're doing in version 1, what's coming in version 2. And when we make those updates, you will get access to those updates as well. As a matter of fact, we have a new folder and document that I'm going to show you here in just a little bit that I created specifically to give you confidence to start today, because you're going to get real outreach examples. These are actual conversations, not hypotheticals. It was literally updated 5 minutes prior to this call, maybe 10 minutes prior to this call starting. I asked Kevin on my team to make sure that that doc was in there. I'm going to show it to you. Okay. You'll learn the real psychology of how I operate a business and the why behind every word choice. And again, this is not a library of things just to give you, to suffice you to say, hey, good luck, I taught you the pivot framework. This is help to be able for you to train your own team, whether that be just you going through this and learning how to be an agency owner for real that has conversations and are able to implement it starting this week. No fluff, no theory of the application. Everything is in the program, and it is pulled directly from what's working inside of our agency right now. Right? Norm says, I'm going to grab this on the replay and jump in. Awesome, Norm. Welcome. From there. Okay. I want to reiterate this. You will be getting access to my living, breathing operating system as view only, and you can copy and edit it for yourself from there. Normally, the investment on something like this is $4.99. Okay. You're not going to pay $4.99 today. Don't worry. That's what this program is going to sell for. And honestly, it's what the transformation's worth. If I showed you what my consultation fee is, actually, hold on, I think I can pull it up here in a little bit. It's $500 for a half-hour consultation on teaching this framework. I actually have somebody that's booking with me right now to learn exactly this, because their proposals are not converting and they don't know why. Okay. A single client from One Better Conversation will pay for this multiple times over. One meeting book, one deal closed. It's simple math. Okay. Harry says, I smell smoke coming from my wallet right now. Well, don't worry, Harry. It's not going to be $4.99 because I missed the holiday weekend with you guys because I was actually literally gone. And then it was a holiday weekend, so no one's going to pay attention or jump on a YouTube call from here. Here's what I'm going to do. US just celebrated our 250th birthday, right? I thought it was going to be a bigger pomp and circumstance than it truly was, but it's their 250th birthday. So I want to do something worth celebrating. Okay. We've been rebuilding our agency for the last several months, launching this framework. A year and a half, I've been really growing my agency, launching this framework and celebrating Independence Day last weekend. Okay. None of you were paying attention. Everybody's out cooking hot dogs, hamburgers, and out with the grill, getting sunburned. Okay. Maybe having a few too many cervezas or beers. Combination felt like the right moment to make this accessible to more people. Okay. I want you guys to have financial freedom. I want you to have a framework that does truly work and isn't something that's sitting on the shelf. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. If you put 250 in the chat, right? You don't need to put two, just put 250, 250 in the chat. I'm actually going to cut the price by $250. Okay. And I'll give you the link here in just a second. Or you can put in pivot. You guys already put in pivot, but put in 250 or pivot down below. I screwed that up. Okay. If you want to save 250 down below, comment 250 or pivot. Okay. The discount is not going to stick around. It's a one-time celebration. And when this workshop ends, it's going to end with this. Okay. So a lot of you guys have put in 250 and pivot, right? This workshop, everything's live. This is the workshop right now. And I'll run the replay from there, and you guys will all get this as we get in. Okay. So regular price is going to normally cost $4.99. It'll be an OTO. It'll be an upsell. This is something I will sell forever because it's universal. This is something that's going to expire from there. Okay. I was going to do a coupon code, all that kind of stuff. And it just, I was afraid it wasn't going to work. So I just had to make the price $249. Or if you really want it started, maybe you're struggling a little bit, 3 by 99, 3 split easy payments as well. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to go grab the link. I'm going to put that link inside for you guys right now. And then this actually is going to go out to everybody. You should be able to get that link. Okay. Click on that, and that's going to be a link to the page. Let me show you what the page looks like real quick. Okay. So I'm going to add this to the stage as we get in. I need to remove this. I need to add that. Okay. This is what you're going to see. Okay. Oops. Hold on a second. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I want to be very clear so we don't have any issues. Okay. Now, oh, I can do something. I can do something really special for you guys. Okay. So conversation that closes. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the 5-step framework, exact messaging, repeatable system, real world outreach, confidence, everything's in there. I'm going to show you here in a minute what it is. Okay. Click on the single pay or the multi-pay. Okay. From there. Now, here's what I'll do. If you, this is, you pick one or the other. Okay. So be very clear. Pick the single pay or the 3-pay. If you want some personal consulting from me, I just thought about this right now. Okay. If you select both of these, I will do a 30-minute call with you, which is less. That's normally $500 for a half hour. I'll do a 30-minute call with you. So you'll get it for $300 on how to implement it in your own business from there. But to be clear, all you need to do is check just one or the other. Okay. But if you check both, you'll get that 30-minute consultation with me in the next 60 days. Okay. Obviously it's based on your need for it and my availability, but I'm pretty good because I got team doing stuff with that right now. From there. Okay. Also, you can see the ability. You can get your own customizable Pivot GPT. I built a Pivot operating system so that you can go in. It's been given everything in our system to help me build the system, and you help you build your own architecture for your own operating system. You can build your own department operating system. Okay. Or you can improve and scale your existing business. It will actually help you go through all of this. Tom, I see you're in. Chuck, you're in as well. Awesome. Welcome, guys. From there, I can see when you guys are getting in from there. But if you want the consultation with me, check all 3, right? And then you'll get everything from there. Okay. But really just pick one or the other and then get going. The consultation is optional, but to get that, you can just check both boxes from there. Okay. It should let you do it. If not, then we'll figure that out. I did not think about that until right now. Because I know some of you guys were asking me some questions like, how do I make it work for me? So let me go back to coming back. Let me just remove this from the, add me back to the stage here. I'm going to add this to the stage. Okay. From here. So one-time payment, $249. You get it for life plus any of my updates. Again, you're going to have access to my doc from there and be able to get in, or you can take a 3-payment plan from there. Don't miss that custom Pivot GPT. It's an add-on offer. I highly recommend it. You can use it in your business. It's going to help you move forward. It'll help you walk through that entire process from there as we get going. Okay. I'm not going to pitch that too hard. It's a custom GPT, but it's already set up so that you can tell it what you want in your business as you guys get going from there. Okay. It's an add-on. It will help turn that Pivot framework into your own personal AI sales assistant. It was trained by me based off of everything that I did with what I'm about to show you in the docs. I haven't even shown you what you're getting yet. Okay. I told you on one slide from there, but imagine having AI write everything for you. Emails, DMs, follow-ups, right? This will take, and you can upload all of my docs into here and tell it what you want to do. and it can train for your niche, for your offer, and then it will also help you build an agency operating system around that as well. All right. Well, let me go back. Okay. So I'm going to save that one for a little bit. I'm going to remove this. I'm going to add this back to the stage. All right. So this is the order form. You guys understand that if you click on all three, you can get the consultation with me. Not many of you guys can take it, but take one or two of these options, single pay or 3Pay. I highly recommend the custom pivot GPT. That's on you. Okay. That's what it looks like. What are you getting with this? Okay. You're going to get access to what I built. Okay. You guys, this is inside of my company, inside of my resources for my BDRs. Like I told you, there's version control in here. Okay. I'm going to start really, really small and walk you through everything as we go. Okay. So get the version history, my BDR Bible. You'll be stuck talking to me for 30 minutes. Awesome, Brian. Hey, look, I'm welcome. Harry's in as well. I'll also be available through the weekend, Crystal, from there. Your new README. Okay. Again, this is real world, guys, right? Actually, let me put this where I'm a little bit on the bottom here. There you guys go. Okay, cool. README first. What does that mean? When I bring on my staff, this is the document that I give them. Okay. This is our Reviewly operating system. This is not bullshit. This is not fluff. This is not, hey, I'm giving something to fight. This is literally what I built for my own team. This is worth thousands of dollars. Okay. I don't know the exact number. I'm not going to make up some number, but the amount of time and effort that goes into it, like somebody will go out there and they could charge you a lot for this. Okay. This is how I onboard a new person to sell my own services. You do not need to sell my services. Repurpose this for yourself using that custom GPT. Put the document in here, tell it to repurpose it for your business, tell it about you, and you're going to get the output from there. Okay. Troy, where can I see what you're doing for your offer air deliverability? In this document, inside this entire thing, you're going to see everything, Troy. And if you book the one-on-one with me, I'll walk you through it all as well. Okay. So how to use the operating system. I'm a pilot, so everything's pilot based from there. It does work if you're selling AI receptionist and follow-up. Yes, you will put it into the chat or customize it for yourself. This will sell anything. This is just how I'm using it. I want to make sure that is very clear. Okay. How to get the consultation, Alex? You go in and you select all three boxes. That will get you the consultation with me. That's the quote unquote upsell. Okay. I didn't really build one for this because I want you guys really in the operating system, but with the questions, I knew we are going to have that. Okay. How to use the operating system. Okay. It's flight based, mission based. It's all around my personality. Adjust this for yourself with the GPT from there. Okay. It includes everything. So this tells somebody from the very beginning, founders welcome, our mission and core values. This is what my live and virtual onboarding schedule was. I'm giving you my 4 or 5 day, I think it's 4 days before they get certified, my onboarding process hour by hour. And my flight plan for each and every one. This is our daily agenda. So if you have a team that you want to train, if you ever want to bring on team members, this is exactly what you need. This is exactly how I onboard my own folks. Layer 2 is our sales mastery. Learn how a Reviewly BDR thinks, right? My sales mastery, steps 1 through 5, our daily success, our KPI, coachability, CRM, discipline, habit building. Everything's inside of that Google link from there. It's Alex, you got to click all three. It'll be the full pay on all of that. Layer number 3, our conversation library. How to communicate. Permission, curiosity, discovery, insight, invitation. That's how I move them down with our conversation DNA. It includes everything. Again, this is focused for my company, for my offer. Take the custom GPT, tell it what your offer is, and have it rework it for you, or just go in and just edit this personally from there. And then industry intelligence cards. Okay. I think I have a dozen that we're using right now to be able to go in, and you can see our Google folder link from there, plus all of our sales and tools resources. Everything is linked inside of this document. You're going to have access, view only access, where you can go file, make a copy, make it a copy, edit it from there. I won't give you guys edit rights because it's our own internal documents. Here's our standard. We do not pressure. We do not chase. We do not pitch. We create curiosity. We earn trust. We provide value. Does that sound like everything I just taught you guys for the last hour and a half? It should. Okay. Here's your flight plan. Here's the path that we go through. Okay. And how they go through. That's what I walk them through first. Okay. Now, I then go read me. They've got the founder's letter. Okay. And then our mission and core values. Everything's in there. Make it your own, repurpose it for yourself from there. Next, we walk through the BDR Launchpad. Each day, flight 1 is day 1, flight 2 is day 2, flight 3 is day 3, flight 4 is day 4. And then by day 3 and 4, they're calling, they're doing DMs, they're outreaching. Okay. Launchpad intro, how this works. And then they have to learn the mission, learn the systems, they start building momentum, and then they're cleared to launch and fly solo from there. Want to know what my call blueprint is? Here's my call blueprint. Here's our daily rhythm, exactly what they do every single day. Adjust this and make it your own. Want to know how we master sales? Here's my sales Bible. Understanding my product, Reviewly, knowing who to call, who to reach out to, how to earn the meeting, how to navigate objections, our daily success system, my AI visibility handbook. I had to explain to folks what AI visibility is that work for me, and then what my language is. Okay. You guys get all of that. I've already built all of this for you. Is this pretty cool? Is this something that you guys could benefit from there? Because the next part is our conversation library. This is where your scripts come from. Okay. Our opening conversation, our discovery questions, our insights, how to earn the next conversation, keeping the conversation going, the follow-up system, voicemails, emails, LinkedIn, Facebook, SMS, and then different profiles. Okay. All of this is built in. This took me hours upon hours to build for my own company. Okay. Somebody said, this is dang cool. Besides local groups, Facebook groups, online media, start conversations with business owners. Catherine, go through the training. Literally, I teach you everything in here. No questions left unanswered. Okay. And how do I know that? Because I literally brought on new staff members and made them go through this with me live. Sales CRM, how to manage any sales CRM. We use High Level as our sales CRM. You can use anything from there. Mike, BPO is something that is not, that's for me. That's a company I'm using. Those are the resources for them. But yes, I do define everything that's in here. So you don't have to worry about the BPO resources. I could probably rename that to just resources, but that's just for me. Okay. We talked about the Launchpad sales CRM training. You're not going to get my outbound dial list. Those have been removed from there. Our training schedule, how I actually do my training and how to earn your wings as somebody that's working with me for the first 30 days. What is my expectations? And you're bringing on somebody, or you guys are using this for yourself. What should be your expectations for the next 4 weeks? Here it is. Here's your flight path from there. Mike says, cool. Awesome. That's your training schedule. Coaching corner. Here's how we do our daily flight debriefs, how we do our callers review scorecard, right? Because we have to listen to some of their messages, how I teach my coaches, and how somebody can do a self-review. Okay. Well, Lucius, you can get this at the end of when you're out of work. Don't worry about it. Okay. BPO resources, go back to there. Okay. Don't worry about that. Briefing decks. Here's my niche report. Okay. Here's why we're going after those niches in there. My AI visibility and my deck. My outreach folks do not pitch this. They do not even offer reviewing the scorecard with them, but they need to understand what we're doing and why we do it so that they can have a valuable conversation. So I train them on that as well. And they walk through from there. Now, here's our scripts. This is literally our script library from today. Okay. This is a living, breathing document that you guys will get access to as well. Vincent says, it seems like it works best for the AI visibility offer. Can it work to be adapted to other AI services? Yes, Vincent. This will work for anything. All you need to do is take these documents, put it into the operating system, tell it what your offer is, the name of your company, and it will change them for you. Okay. Steve, Jeff, I already have Reviewly. How many of these scripts resources are different from the ones I already have in Reviewly? This is how I'm doing my new framing. This is outside of what you guys have. This is for specifically building a conversation operating system. So it is, they're similar in a lot of different ways to how we do Reviewly, but the way we're doing our outreach right now, we've actually found that, actually here, I'm gonna tell you guys this real quick. We found that with a lot of the businesses that we're talking to, we've seen search for reputation, reviews, and things like that start to go down in organic searches. And AI visibility is where we're changing the angle. All of this is that new framing. It's all brand new. Okay. So you can do outreach for reviews in Google and things like that with Reviewly. We've taken everything that we've created around Reviewly and our review suite and put it into one offer. And it's the AI visibility offer. And that's what we're selling right now. So that's how we're doing it, Steve. You're welcome. He says, thanks, Jeff, from there. Cool. All right. Now, all of this that you see that I've gone over so far, these, all the documents, these 4 documents plus the 6 folders, because the outbound dial list is just an example niche right now. This is my framework for you if you guys want to do it. So you actually can see what data we're looking for to be able to get for those folks, because we're doing multi-touch outreach, omni-channel, right? So you're going to get those 7 folders plus these 4 documents. But if you get in during this period, I'll also give you my exact account executive resources. Okay. This is the person that does sales. So everything I told you was outreach, how to get a conversation going, how to have value conversations, how to make it really truly worth the value of the individual to continue the conversation. Well, when you have a booked meeting, what do you do now? Okay. This is the role of the account executive. Steve just said I'm in. Yes, we do provide, Mike, everything you can adjust all the niches. I have industry cards and everything in here for you. Okay. You'll see this is a living, breathing system that's inside of my own company. Okay. So on the account exec side, that's the individual that's doing the calls and actually closing the deals. So this works them through. Again, starts with the same thing: letter from our founder, version control, operations, how you work the next 30 days, our missions, core values, version control. And then you see all of their assets, right? So that's going to be pulled in from the BDRs. They've got their own flight manual here and all the, I don't know why chapter 9's up front, but you can see that we've got all the different chapters. I'm going to tell you guys right now, after we complete the 60-day evaluation of this with all the new build and the 24, 25 chapters of our sales manual, okay, this is going to be printed out and they're going to be handed a binder. And they're going to be handed some smaller bits that they can print out or laminate it, put it on their desk from here. If you have any doubt about how we're selling AI visibility and Reviewly, read this manual. This is how I train mine. Yes, Van, I have a call center. The call center scripts, which we just covered, are all the way back here in my new BDR scripts and in my Launchpad under the conversation library. Yes, every single thing you need, from your offer to your outreach to the scripts to overcoming objections, how to move the pivot framework to move them down the ladder with those permissions to have the conversation, and then to walk them through the sales portion. And then obviously they get the same pitch deck, is all included in here. Everything you need. Okay. Now, this came up a little earlier. This is our last 30 days. I took a screenshot of it. It's a little bit higher now because you guys are joining, right? But this is what we've done in the last 30 days inside of our business. So we're not kidding around. Okay. Some of you guys will have a comma moved 2 spots to the left. Maybe some of you guys will beat me, have an extra comma in there. Okay. Everything you need is in one place. This is exactly what we use internally. When you get access, you're going to get a page that's going to have this video on it. And then down below will be access to the drive that I just showed you. View only, make a copy, but keep coming back to it because as I update it, you're going to have the latest updates from there. Okay. $249, which is half off or a little bit more than half off, 50 point whatever percent off, or 3 by 99 to be able to get in from there. Okay. I want to build something together with each and every one of you as we get going. Okay. I want to make this worth your time and ours. So let's build it together. To get in, you can go to jeffhershey.com/pivot right now. Down below the video, if you're watching this on a replay, I'll put a link in the description, in the comments as well. This is everything you need to get started from there. No stone is left unturned. Every single question is answered because we've done this with human beings who did not know what Reviewly was 30 days ago. They didn't know who I was 30 days ago. Each and every one of you has had the opportunity to learn about me and what I do and all that stuff over months, weeks, days, or years before you saw this. Okay. I brought on basically people off the street who didn't know anything about our product, zero about being an agency, BDR, zero things about Reviewly, nothing about me, and had them booking meetings within the first few hours, one person within the first 30 minutes of running this conversation operating system. And I want to introduce each and every one of you to it with the opportunity, no matter what you sell, you can customize this to yourself. If you sell Reviewly as an agency, you know exactly what I'm doing because this is real world stuff. This is not create a doc, walk away. I have half a dozen people every single day doing exactly what is in this conversation operating system, reaching out to business owners, talking to several hundred a day, sending hundreds of emails, multiple dozens of DMs across different channels to start conversations, to move people through the ladder and go from there. So if you're in and you're still on, put in the chat. I want to welcome Craig, Alexander, Rob, Stephen, Amelia, Owen, Catherine, Brian, Bruno, Art, John, Chuck, Tom, Mike, Harry, Stanley, Rebecca, Elizabeth, Mark, Sala, all coming in from there. Okay. Catherine as well, just typed in. If you have a question on this, put in the comments. Let me know right now and I'll be able to answer this. But we're going to wrap this up in like the next minute or two from there to be respectful of your time, get things moving forward. I'm probably going to feed myself lunch after this. And then Vincent says, seems like this works best only for AI visibility offer. It can be adapted to any service. Put it in the custom GPT, Vincent, and make it work for you. David says he's going to be joining as well. We got a couple ins as well. Cool. What can we expect if we follow this in the next 30 days? Any ideas? I know I can't make any guarantees. Curious for your own expectations. Look, what you should expect is that take a day or 2 or 3 to learn it. And then it'll take you a couple hours to maybe a few days from when you start your initial conversations to be able to understand and adapt it based on your personality, the niche that you're in, the time zone that you're calling. I'll tell you right now, New York was a lot harder than LA to have those receptive conversations because our lead team was generating big city lists and like, we need to go to some smaller towns and we need to get outside of New York City. But the expectation is you're going to start to have conversations, and then how you adjust the conversations based on the pivot framework, you'll start moving people down that path. And that'll be really exciting for you as well. Brian says, thanks. You're welcome, Brian. Is there videos or just the documents to review? Crystal, it's just the documents walking you through. This video that I gave you today for this training is your pivot training work. what I'm doing when I train my folks is I pull up the document and I walk them through and have them ask me any questions from there. Yep. So somebody says, good timing. Need a couple client payments to come in. I won't post your thing up there. We'll give you a couple days to go through, at least till Monday. I'll run this for you guys. I'll leave it open. And then after that, this will probably become an upsell on the back end of other products, because this will be something that we live with and breathe with. This is universal. This is timeless. You just have to use a custom chat to make it an adjustment for your own business from there. Craig says, where do we get the docs? Craig, when you purchase and get in, you should have an email. As soon as you're done purchasing, it should take you right to the page. I can't pull the page up right now because we're live and the video will play. On that page will be this offer video of me walking you through the pivot framework, plus the documents and everything from there. Somebody said, good stuff. Thank you. So cool. All right. With that being said, if you have any other questions, let me pull up. I think I got a banner. Yep. support@jeffhershey.com. Let my team know. We'll answer any questions for you guys as you get in. And then for any of you that have not joined the school group, if you want to see, let me just take down the banner real quick. Got too many things up on the screen. If you want to see exactly how we do this over the shoulder and train each and every one of our own folks, if you want to see what I'm doing in my agency, what am I doing in my business, go to agencystarterkit.com. It's a free community, free group. We talked about it at the beginning as well. Subscribe to this channel. I do a weekly video once a week that has not stopped even when I disappeared. I had to make time to record those, and my team is creating and posting content with me as well on a daily basis, on a regular basis, to be able to go in and make sure that you guys have everything that you need. And I'm more than happy to make sure that like each and every one of you has what you need to be able to move forward and get started from there. Somebody says, from fighter pilot to marketing consultant. Yeah. Long time ago. My last flight was July 27th of 2007. So coming up on almost 20 years since then. I've been doing marketing since 2008. Built and sold several companies since then. And from hosting to reputation to software and social, plus some lead gen companies as well. So I've been doing this for a little bit of while. And then Bijan says, thanks very much. We'll save so much time. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I took hours building this. This is something that I also then took hours implementing with my own team. And it is in play, in practice, in real time. Not right now because they're at lunch. I know this is their lunch hour. But prior to this, while we started the call, and then in 15 minutes from now, when they come back from their hard 1 hour lunch, the team's going to be using this. And what are they going to be using? Everything that you just got access to. Okay. There's no magical mystery, anything else. This is it. Somebody said, yeah, I can tell. Good. Well, I'm glad, because I want you guys to understand that, like, I'm the real deal. I'm actually doing this. I only know a handful of people in our industry that actually are talking to business owners, really closing deals that aren't making stuff up to just sell you guys as like info marketing agencies. This is how we are building our business. I'll give you guys another secret. I'm building another lead gen agency as well. And this is the framework that we're using for that, because we get some really great results for our clients. And we're going to take that case study and we're going to use it, and we're going to reach out to other businesses in the niche. That's how you get results. You find a small number of clients, you get them great results for a period of time, and then you take those case studies and you tell everybody else about them using the pivot framework. So I now have confidence that I can use this pivot framework, give this to somebody else, because I've actually bought back my time, because I have folks doing this for me. I have somebody doing the demos for me. I never really like doing the cold outreach. So I'm always good at doing the demos and the sales and the marketing piece of this. So the way I've done this is I've gone out and I've now replaced myself in the business. I barely ever do sales calls anymore, because I've used this system to duplicate and clone myself and how we operate. And then each person has their own personality. So they have their architecture and their structure. And I'm not trying to clone me. I'm trying to clone my process. So they have the artistic freedom to be themselves within the guardrails. And it's worked extremely well. So I don't care if you're 70, I don't care if you're 17, I don't care if you're 35, male, female, whatever. You can take this and you can be successful with it from there. Mike says, I'm in. Can you suggest, recommend an agency website? Yeah, go to the school group, Mike, and I actually give you an agency website that has Reviewly on it inside of that group. You can pull it from Lovable and make it your own from there. You can get that at agencystarterkit.com. In the first or second training module, it's free for you. Okay. So get in from there. All right. With that being said, we're approaching almost 2 hours. I didn't think this was going to go that long. I thought we'd be out in like an hour 15. Scale of 1 to 5, 5 being great, 1 being terrible. How do we do today? Found a page, automatically popped up. Cool. All right, cool. So Craig found it. 1 to 5, 5 being great, 1 being terrible. How did we do today with the training and with the offer? I want to make sure that you guys are happy and that you guys are happy overall. And so got a lot of 5s. I'll be in. Boom, 5s. Okay. Everybody seems happy and we're good to go. Austin today, 5. Mike says a 15. Great. I love those from there. Matter of fact, if you put 15 into my system, Reviewly would know with its advanced AI that you meant it was a 5 or it was positive, and it would have moved you down the positive channel. We're always forward thinking with that as well. So awesome. All right. So one final thing, if you've not liked or subscribed this video, do me a favor, subscribe, like this video, join agencystarterkit.com. You'll see that I am teaching you exactly what we're doing inside of our business from there. And I'm happy to answer any questions for any of you guys inside the group. I do answer all the DMs of questions and things like that. It may take a day or 3, but normally you get back within a couple hours to a day. You'll get a response from me. Or when I disappear for 2 or 3 weeks to do what I just trained you guys on from here, I share it in the group and I give you guys real world examples from there. Cool. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Go put this into play. Start with the README doc and then start doing your outreach using the pivot framework and the conversational system. Okay. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you guys all real soon. Take care, and we'll see you on the next live stream or live call. Take care.